Hey guys, guess what? Today it's a really cold day now, and it's nearly. And guess what? It is nearly winter, and so after October and November, it will be winter in Vietnam. And today it started to rain, and when it started to rain, it's really cold. And so I'm wearing a really warm jacket. It's not a jacket. It's a warm shirt. Today, I will read you a book called Who is Thomas Alva Edison? And let's find out what to do next. We read in chapter 7. Always inventing. Tom was a man who never ran out of ideas. Although Tom was hard of hearing, he never lost his hearing completely. He didn't let it become a problem, even when his hearing got worse as he got older. In fact, he said it was good things because he could ignore the noise swirling around him. He could concentrate on what was important to him. At one point, Tom was told that operation might cause of deafness. He didn't want it, and he was not interested in developing a hearing aid. Tom found a way to work around his problem. He managed to listen to a piano player trying out for his phonograph recording by biting a metal plate attached to the piano. This allowed him to hear the music, though the vibration traveling through his jawbone. Was he listening? Though his teeth? So much is known about Tom's works because the record he kept over 70 years of inventing. He filled out 4,000 notebooks and wrote and drew and never over 3 million notes, letters, and sketches. No, that's a lot of them. Not all of Tom's idea was successes. In 1891, he bought a mine in northwestern New Jersey. He wanted to find a way to produce low-grade iron ore by separating it from rock and sand. But after 10 years, he had to give up on rich deposits of high-grade iron ore was found in Minnesota. By this time, Tom had lost millions of dollars. Still, Tom's experience with mining led him to another business, cement. He came up with a way to pour cement house in just 6 hours. Using molds and machinery that he developed in his mine business, his cement was used to build New York Yankees Stadium and Panama's Canal. Now it was the turn of the century. Automobiles were about to burst out of sense, but Tom was convinced that electric car would be the best car for the future. He set out to make a battery run a car on electricity. He knew it would be cleaner than the gas that another inventors were trying, but he had to make a batteries that would store enough electricity to run a car for a very long time. It also had to be cheap enough to make. Henry Ford. Do you know who is Henry Ford? Well, let's start. Henry Ford was the first to make her car cheap enough for most Americans to buy. In 1908, his most popular car, the Model T, cost $500, and he had more orders than he could fill within 2 years. Ford came up with his assembly line. Workers assemble or put together each car. Each man worked on one part only as the car traveled along the moving belt. Workers on either side added to the next part needed at the end of the line. A completed model T was driven off, ready for customer. Ford made model. It's for 19 years. He sold over 150.5 million of them in America. Tom finally came up with a good storage battery, but he was too late for cars. At 1903, Henry Ford was selling his gasoline-powered model to a customer. Tom's storage battery became very useful. Even though it didn't power cars like Ford's, the Navy used to light ships and to power torpedoes. The railroad lit car and single lights with it. Some delivery trucks were powered by it, so were the lights on Cole Meyer's helmet. Amazingly, the storage battery became his biggest money maker. Perhaps that surprised even Tom, who had once expected his phonograph to grow up to be a big fellow and support me to my old age. With all of Tom's successes, he was always ready to move to the next idea. The same was true of his failures. He didn't look back and complain, and he never gave up until he had tried every possibility. Tom, once again, you came across anything you don't understand. You don't rest until you run it down. Most fellers try a few things and quit. I never quit until I find that what I'm after. Tom worked in a time when many others were racing to think up an event to the next great idea. The world seemed alive with possibilities. Tom understood work. He liked it. He once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration," and he said, and 99% preparation. Of genius, he said, sticking to it is in the genes. In 1940, a fire raged through some of his West Orange buildings, but even that did not discourage Tom. He started rebuilding immediately. But even Tom could be narrow-minded. He had nothing good to say about the radio. He was sure it wouldn't last. As Tom got older, he didn't stop working. There are photographs of Tom and his 70s still going to West Orange. When he was 65, he had a time clock installed. His worker punched in their card to record the time they arrived and the time they left. So did Tom. Over the years, Tom received many awards. In 1928, the U.S. Congress gave him a special medal for his lifetime of achievement. "I have accomplished all I promised," he said. During the last 15 years of Tom's life, he went on trips with old friends, among the Henry Ford, tire maker Harry Firestone, and novelist John Burgess. They traveled to the Great Smoky Mountain, around New England, and to Michigan. They called their vacation together a camping trip, but they were well taken care of by helpers who pitched their tents. took care of their clothes, and cooked their meals. Tom and Minna spent time at the vacation home Tom had built soon after their marriage. It was in 50 meters, Florida. Of course, it had elaborated during the last 2 years of his life. Tom suffered from a number of ailments, among them diabetes and a stomach ulcer, and his health declined. In August 1931, he collapsed at Dolman. He died on October 80 at the age of 84. Minna lived another 16 years. Tom's funeral on Wednesday, October 21, was private, but that evening, at the request of President Herbert Hoover, Americans turned off their light at 10 in the evening. For 1 minute, all over the United States, there was darkness. A horror of Thomas Alva Edison, the man who lit up the whole world. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad about the last stories. And so is Steve Jobs' last story too. He died from cancer, and Thomas Alva Edison died because he's old, but guess what? everyone turned on the light. Yeah, on Wednesday, he died in October 80 at the age of 84. Tom's funeral on Wednesday, October 21, was private. But guess what? It was on a Wednesday, October 21, that everyone put him in the grounds because he died. Yeah, but everyone, but was private. But everyone know about it. But that evening, at the request of President Herbert Hoover, Americans turned off their light at 10 in the evening. For 1 minute, all over the United States, there was darkness. Or of Thomas Alva Edison, the man who lit up the whole world. That means he died, and everyone, and Herbert Hoover knew it, and he turned off the light, and so did everyone. He said to everyone, and everyone turned off the light in 10 o'clock. Yeah, at 10 o'clock. And everyone turned off the light. So for 1 minute, all over the United States, there was darkness in the honor of Thomas Alva Edison. That means that Thomas Alva Edison lit up the whole world. And when he lit up the whole world, because of him, it's a light today. And on October 21, everyone turned off the light in 10. So that if it wasn't Thomas Alva Edison, then now it was just darkness. And even no computers, no movies, yeah, he made everything. I would say he made up everything. Okay, so here's the timeline. So I'm going to read the timelines. In 1847, he born in Midland, Ohio on February 11. In 1854, the Edison moved to Port Huron, Michigan. On 1854, the Edison moved. On 1859, he works as a newsboy on the railroad. And 1863, works on a telegram written. Okay, I'm not read the years. I'm just going to read all of them. So he born in Midland, Ohio on February 11, and the Edison and his family moved to Port Huron, Michigan. And then he works as a newsboy on the railroad, and then works on a telegraph over in the city around the U.S. And soon after, he moved to Boston, mustering even an electric boat recorder in Apple's first patents. He moved to New York City and developed a euro stock printer. Yeah, there's he do many things and many and many and many and many and many things. And then at the end, he dies on October 8th. So sad for the story, and I wish it can be good. And there's some more stories you can read in here too. Which there was Louis Albert Einstein. With Albert Einstein, who would really have a good brain. Yeah, I know he created something, but I don't know. He was George Washington Carver. Do you know who's George Washington? George Washington is the one. It's the one. It's the one who doing something. Yeah, George Washington Carver. Who is the one? Yeah, who is the one who be someone who at the first? Yeah, the first people that help the whole American. Yeah, I know, but I don't remember all about it. I just remember that. And at the end of this story of who is George Washington Carver, I know I have already listened of it, that he died. Yeah, I don't know why he died. Who was Marco Curio? Marco Curio? I don't know who she is. Maybe she is a scientist, or I don't know. Maybe she is a scientist. I think so. And who was Nikola Tesla? And I don't know who is Nikola Tesla too. So, how do you know Thomas Alva Edison? Okay, a curious child who fed worms to make friends to see if she would fly like a bird. A boy who left school at the age of 12 and was hard of hearing all of his life. The man who changed the world when he invented the electric light bulb. Are all of the above. That was all of the above. It's all correct answers. And I love him really much because he was the one who helped the whole world turn into a good world, a good world with to name something, and I love him really much. If you were looking at me, if you were listening at me at Sky, Thomas Alva Edison, thank you for the whole new world. Thank you for you that it's have today. We having a happy life. Thank you really much. If you are looking at me or listening at me, listen that I am having a thank you, and so that everyone who have read this book, or so that everyone who got electric now, and I think everyone is having electric now. And thanks to you, it's a light bulb this time. You see that? Orange light bulb. There's white light bulb over there. Yeah, over here. And thank to you very much. It's a little today. And I would love you. And thanks for you to be someone who created. Who make the whole world, who lit up the whole world with light bulbs and light. And thank you really much. I love you. And also remember that when you're doing something, just remember you can do it, and then you will do it. Just like this man. Yeah, just like Thomas Alva Edison. And remember to buy this book or listen to me. It'll be a fun story too. And also, have fun.